This is a Danger Entertainment Network podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Network podcast. This is Ed Johnson, and I am definitely affiliating this here message.
Janderhoff.
Here come the dwarf fighter,
Battlestone.
He's a low stacks gangster,
Battlestone.
Excuse me, random villager,
Battlestone.
Gonna give you my cash,
Battlestone.
Na 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 na.
Fulton. Battlestone. Aye.
Nice.
Oh, no, we don't lie. Yes, he must comply. Handing out gold pieces up and down the street. He knows what you don't know. He's going to roll quite low. Hit a rat queen and then go for Fulton. Nice.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
I'd say we're about a day's ride from Janderhoff.
You bandits?
No, we just like to rest our bones about the fire.
What sort of things do you trade in?
I'm in the labour market.
What do you mean labour?
Slaves.
Oh, I hope this isn't a prelude to wanting to do something about it.
Well, of course, yeah. That's why I asked if they were taking watch so we could murder them in their sleep.
I hate slavery, but I'm not a murderer. These people up there trying to sit by their fire, and you're going to kill them for it, and I'm not going to take part.
The adventure continues now.
Now we're rolling.
Hey Scott,
Yeah.
knock knock.
Who's there?
Hella.
Hello, who?
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Danger Club podcast. Grim DMing, nailed it.
You've been nailing Grim DMing for about 7 games, I think.
Ross, you and Colin never told us the answers to your greatest gaming moment.
Yeah, why didn't you tell us the answers to that? Ross?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you guys?
Didn't want to ruin the flow. I never ever got into
Ever.
like RPGing until I met
Cool,
all
so
of you
Colin-
guys. When we all started at a famous, actually not famous, a interactive actory job that we all did together, and I'd heard that you guys had started, and I think Dan said that I could come along once, and then I played a ranger named Raymir, and he was really good with animals. He was famously really good with animals, so much so that I had a shirt made with all the animals that had died in his lifetime, which was a lot.
This is Ross's crowning moment. This is his like really inspiring, wonderful, amazing moment.
So like when I rolled that character, and then the first game that we played, where me and James got introduced into the game, was a standout moment for me, because I'd never ever experienced anything like it before, and that feeling was really, really cool. Like how you could just do anything, and like some of the random things. Like I think one of the best times was when Raymir went off because one of his animal companions died. Dan let me go off and find a zoo to get another animal companion, to which I found a polar bear. I think that was one of the standout things of how like free D&D was.
Nice.
And how free like you could be with it. I think that for me was the standout moment for me.
And now all this time, now you DM for the rest of us.
Yeah.
You run a mean game yourself this far on. That has been some of my favourite gaming moments. Have been any time we've let you sing in one of our games. I hope we get that on the actual show one day.
There was a talking lion called Lionel.
Yeah. There's been some weird characters.
No, he's a minotaur. Sorry, he's a minotaur called Lionel. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
How does he say money, Ross?
Money.
I think.
Don't do it. I'll stop.
It's just in the middle of a sentence where Ross just dropped on us like a really elongated. I like money. Like a bovine sort of sound. We just lost it.
Oh
God.
Oh, good times, Colin.
Well, as you know, was someone going to speak?
No.
I thought someone spoke. All right. So I've not been playing for like loads and loads of years, like a lot of you, and I started playing maybe 6 months before we started doing this podcast. I just kind of entered in at the right time. I had the equipment. You wanted to do one. It's the only reason I'm here, Dangerlings. It's the only reason I'm here.
Sounds like a terrible chat-up line, to be honest.
Yeah, right. But no. I mean, I'd been meaning to come along for 5 years, hadn't I? Do you remember when you first started it? I couldn't do it for some reason, so I didn't come and join in the games. And then I went off and I was busy and everyone else was busy and I could never make a game. And then, long story short, I started playing and then we started doing the podcast. And I think for me, the first time I really kind of jumped into it was when I created my own character, because I'd been playing a character that had been created by someone else before in our sort of social game, and I just came up with the name MZ, and I remember texting Dan and saying I want to play a half elf called MZ, and he just sent back an LOL. And that for me was the defining moment. And then I guess the second moment for me was when we got fan art, and when seeing the 2 pictures of MZ that people have made so far have just kind of blew me away.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I chip in a tiny thing about obviously you have these moments when you go like, oh yeah, it's amazing, I've got so much freedom, there's so much I can do. There's also a moment when you realise you can't actually do anything.
Yeah.
And that, all right, there was a moment when we were playing really early on, and I was playing half-orc sorcerer, and I walked into a room and I went, I've got a plan. And I was like, I'm going to use shocking grasp on this boss orc, and he's going to go and die on the floor, like the Joker does to people in that Batman film, and went in and went, let me shake your hand, and he went like, ow, I kill you now. And I was like, oh crap, oh man, that did not work how I thought it was. And then we were surrounded by loads of other orcs, and I was like, this
it was like literally in the middle of his tribe, wasn't it, in a big room?
Yeah, it was. My plan was I'd kill him and I'd go, haha, now I am your leader, and they'd all follow me. But
it literally started with you saying, don't worry, I have a plan, like any great D&D thing. I have a fun story of one of my favourite moments from the history of this podcast.
Oh wow.
So,
are you going to talk about?
Are you going to say killing MZ?
No,
right. Thank you, Scott.
We're all expecting it.
No, I got to tell the story now because we're way past. It happened a while ago, and we keep getting far away from it. So have I mentioned that Ross and I met Jason Ballman? Have we ever?
only 1,000 times.
Yeah. The lead game, the head of game design for Paizo.
Big J.
We met him at UK Games Expo. I may have mentioned this quite a bit because now whenever I write game or design on my phone, it capitalizes it. So clearly I've mentioned it to a few people. But we met Jason, we did our interview, which was lovely. He then went off and had a holiday around the UK before flying back. About a week later, I saw a message from him saying he was in London, having a day in London before he flew home again, and what was there to do. So I sent him a message with just some stuff to do. Go to Orc's Nest, because we love Orc's Nest, a couple of good bars to go to, and I said, I'll do the Tower of London if you've got time. It's touristy, but, it's fun. And James and I work at the Tower of London. We perform at the Tower of London. It's a brilliant place. And I didn't hear anything back, and I saw a picture on Twitter later on. I was like, oh, he went to Orc's Nest. Oh, that's nice. And then I'm sitting in the break room at the Tower of London, and I look at Jason Ballman's Twitter feed, and I'm like, he's here. I just see a picture. I was like, he's in the tower right now. He's where we are. And I messaged you guys, and you guys are like, well, go and get a photograph of him, which I can't do because I'm dressed in Restoration era costume with a musket, so I can't run around with my smartphone, unfortunately. But I tweeted him and said, oh, we're doing a show at 3:30. Come and see that. And I looked down from the battlements halfway through the show, and Jason Ballman, the lead game designer of Paizo, who we interviewed, is watching our show at the Tower of London. And and he had to go afterwards. We had a bit of a chat on Twitter, but yes, we interviewed him about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and then a week later he came and saw me doing a show about the stealing of the crown jewels in 1671.
The circle was complete.
So weird.
the Bowl Man.
Dangerlings, can you, and I mean, I know we say this a lot, but can you tweet us and tell us about your moments when did you get into RPG? We'd really like to know that, actually. We'll retweet the best ones, definitely.
I'll tell you what,
even the worst ones, we'll retweet you.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I go in further, and I think it'd be quite fun to read out some of the best ones in the show.
Yeah, you could do that,
have a chat about them. So if they're really, really good, send them in. We want to hear.
That'd be amazing to discuss that.
We've had a few people that have started playing role-playing games because of the Danger Club, because they listen to the Danger Club.
We got a message on our on our Discord.
Yeah,
the other day.
That was awesome.
And that's absolutely great. It's so much fun. And I think in this age of technology and distance and people doing video calls, getting a bunch of your friends and sitting around the table and playing a good old game, there's nothing like it. I'd recommend it. If you're thinking about it, do it.
It's the constant sort of difference that comes up that keeps me playing it. There is one thing above all other things that just keeps me coming back to this game over and over again, and that is the fact that MZ is still dead.
Oh, I knew it. I thought we were having a nice little moment there, and you just had to come on in there.
Scott immediately knew where you were going with that.
Yes, already. The I see you on whenever Dan opens his mouth to say something nice is just so high. It's a natural 20 every time.
Yeah. But we need to talk about MZ because you are arriving now at Janderhoff. You came, as well as wanting to chase down Fray Axborn, that is your main quest, and look into the cult of the living god, or the church of the living god. One of the big reasons you came to Janderhoff is that you're looking for a solution. You're looking for something to try and help MZ. So it's time to really think about that. It's time to think about, what are we going to do? What is the plan? Can you bring him back? What if you can't bring him back? Should you bring him back? Where is everyone at with this at the moment? And obviously Colin is in the room at the moment, so if we can send Colin outside.
I mean, I can leave if you want for a bit. Yeah, I'll listen to it later.
But you're a part of this because you've never lost a character before, so this is an interesting situation.
I mean, first of all, do we have enough money? I don't think we do at this point. So
we did do a tally off air, and of the 10,000 gold pieces we need, which I think you should have got an idea now. Like that's a lot of money. We've got 4,000 between us.
Not
I think.
quite.
Is it definitely 10,000?
It's 10,000 worth of diamonds specifically.
So we have less than half of that, and it took us a year's worth of playing in 3 levels to get 4,000.
I mean, we've spent stuff along the way, but basically. It's a king's ransom, 10,000 gold pieces. Like there's some crazy
morally,
stuff like that.
karmically, we killed a bunch of slavers last time and set a load of slaves free. If we robbed a bank this episode, chaotic neutral,
seize the day,
a little bit of bad, a little bit of good,
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it for a good cause-ish.
Yeah.
Bit selfish.
As long as no one gets killed, I guess. And kill anyone in the back.
Then how many lives do we give for M's life?
Well, exactly. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and
Also, evil triumphs if good sylphs do nothing. There's also that as well.
What about neutral ones? Back at you.
Shots fired.
In your face.
In your face.
In your face. I can project slavers.
There is unpacking to be done about last episode as well. Don't worry. There is plenty of conversations to be had in and beyond Janderhoff. But yeah, this is the thing, is it's kind of bringing characters back from the dead is a thing that does exist in this world. I think everyone knows that. Your characters know that it maybe exists because you would, if that existed as a thing in the world, word would have gotten around. But it isn't like you can't pop into WH Smith's and just buy one and bring someone back from the dead over the counter. God, that was I pulled W.H. Smith's out as my reference.
Yes, you did.
That goes to W.H. Smith.
I had a feeling you were going to say Woolworths.
Yeah, the first thing I was about to say was Woolworths. So I was like, no, wait, they went out of business years ago.
Years and years and years ago.
Only in this country.
Because they were trying to bring people back from the dead.
And they did sell a cheap restoration kit, which I think was the thing that pushed them over the edge, actually. Just a Woolies back from the dead kit.
It's still around in other countries.
Bring them back from the dead, they got no mind left, really. It's basically a zombie kit.
They're just full of pick and mix. That's basically.
I mean, USA tweet us, but I believe that Woolworths exists I think it's a different company altogether, but Woolworths kind of exists.
There's still a few Blockbusters as well.
I think there's one Blockbuster, isn't there? They've got the Twitter account. It's hilarious.
It's like way up the north in like North America somewhere, isn't it? Like,
somewhere, yeah. And
like
their Twitter feed is keeping them going.
It's in Captain Marvel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it might.
Tweet us the 90s.
Tweet us on a WAP phone. Do that.
Well, suffice it to say, bringing people back from the dead is not easy.
Yep.
There are ways to do it, and you are free to explore those. But I want to be clear at the start that I am not going to bend the rules of life and death for the sake of being nice on this. There are ways that this can be done, and there are ways that it can't be done. And so if that's the path that you're going to go on, then you need to be prepared for that. You need to be prepared that you may not be successful. But it's up to you as to whether you want to try or not. Because, all it takes for MZ to die is for Velder to do nothing.
I'm not a cleric. I mean, you can try and hook it into everything, but I'm no cleric.
No.
Although, would there be such a thing as a resurrection scroll?
No, I mean, it's too high level.
It's too high level. I was going to say that'd be phenomenally expensive.
Well, isn't there some kind of like a balm you can get that's really tricky? It's like, and we don't know what he's come back as.
We did have some of that in a previous campaign.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the Salve of the Second Chance. Which is a specific item which is produced in the River Kingdoms. So if you could ever go to the River Kingdoms and meet the specific old woman who makes it, then maybe that would help.
It's probably quite far away.
That's hilarious, though. It was basically you come back to life, but you roll on a random table. So you could come back to life as a newt or something like that. It was very Buddhist. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Yeah.
Sure. So let's find out how that goes. You have at least found a city. How well it goes, we will find out from here. So to give you an idea of what is going on as the day. So this is day 2. Remember that Fulton and Shania, you're on 1 save each on your tetanus disease, so you're still feeling rough today, but you can at least speak, and you haven't gotten any worse during the night. Shania's medicine has helped, and you have a wagon, so you're able to keep out of the drizzle as you make your way along forward. Drizzle is, of course, the name of a famous Drow character from the D&D character, as played by Snoop Dogg.
So that's why he has his umbrella, right?
The road gets busier as you make your way through the day, and by now you're regularly starting to pass wagons carrying various goods. It's a lot of merchants. Both caravans and sort of small individual traders. It's mostly dwarves, but you see a few humans as well. They all kind of nod to you as you go past. They're going in and out. As the morning wears on, and the sun finally starts to appear above the mountains. Because remember, you're into the mountains now, so it takes quite a while for the sun to suddenly to be visible. You pass into a valley, one end of which is completely cut off by a huge curtain wall made of dark iron. It has seams of a shiny metal running through it, and as the sun brings down and hits it, all of them start to glint and glimmer in the sun. As you get closer, there are huge statues of dwarves, ancient-looking statues of dwarves staring down at you from the cliffside, watching you as you pass. There are banners fluttering from the top of this curtain wall, all of which showing a warhammer, an upside-down warhammer, which Fulton, you easily enough know to be the symbol of Torag, who is the dwarven god of the forge. He is the dwarf god. So you know that you are approaching the sky citadel of Janderhoff. All of the traffic is being funneled down the mountain towards a huge set of gates in the curtain wall. So the wall seems to go right into the side of the mountain itself. So whatever this city is, it's built into the mountain. There is a small settlement sort of built around the gates where you can see people trading. And as you get close, you can see that there are about 10 to 20 dwarves in thick, heavy armor, full helmets covering their faces, huge tower shields, each holding a warhammer as well, all keeping watch. And there are some others who are searching wagons as they go in. You join the queue, basically, and spend a couple of hours just trundling towards the city, making your way through. Nobody's really... Occasionally you see a wagon get pulled aside, and you might see it be searched a bit more thoroughly, but you don't see that they don't seem to be sort of turning many people away. Eventually, you start to get closer to the front, towards the gates, and a dwarven woman with her hair done up in a bun, holding a clipboard, or holding a tablet and some chalk, comes walking over to you. Morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello there.
Yeah, hello.
Feels weird. I can move my jaw. Hello. Hey.
It was only a day, Fulton, but one day. What? Stop that.
Sorry.
If you could not speak for a day, then I think maybe you would implode, so shut up.
Yeah.
Do you want me to move on to the next wagon? I can.
No, it's okay.
No, it's fine.
Let's go.
This goes on all the time.
You're welcome to Janderhoff.
Hey.
Thank you.
Can I ask what you're hauling today?
Mostly ourselves and our friend.
Huh. What's your business?
We're looking.
Well, for a cleric, really, a healer.
Hey.
Got yourself in need of a healer, huh?
Hey.
Yes.
Hope you're not bringing anything contagious into the city.
No.
Nothing like this, no.
What do you need a cleric for?
Well, maybe to breathe some life into a friend of ours.
Dead body, huh?
Hey.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
afraid so. He was a very dear friend.
Mind if I take a look?
No, not at all.
go
No.
ahead.
I've cast gentle repose on him, and I sort of show her back and show him.
She has a look in the back of the wagon and pulls the tarp, or pulls the cloth aside to have a little look at MZ's face, and then covers it up again. Just nods, says, "Oh, my commiserations.
Thank you.
Gotta say you're a strange group."
Well, we're a ragtag bunch of friends.
Hey.
I'm gonna, if you can just hold for a moment, I'm just gonna have a talk with some of my colleagues over here. Just
Okay.
Is that
Yes,
a
of course.
problem?
Sure, that's fine.
can't be too careful with a lot of dangerous orcs around here, and well, can't see a lot of dark elves about.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you have a group name?
No, we're just all.
The friendly club?
Yeah.
Ed kind of looks around at Fulton saying no, because
Yeah. Okay.
he's just been and then looks at Karagor as well, as if to go, hang on a minute, you gave me a group name, what the hell is this?
We also told the guys we released that we were the Danger Club.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
no,
Yeah.
not in a.
But
I'm
Ed,
saying it because we should probably be low key on what we're.
yeah, I know, but Ed doesn't.
But
know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So now Ed's
Yeah.
a little bit confused by this, but he doesn't say anything.
Okay. So the dwarves go and talk for a little bit, and you can see a couple of the guards looking over in your direction, and then turning to talk a little bit.
Are they out of earshot?
They are out of earshot.
Ed turns to Fulton and just says, "What? Why didn't you tell them the name that you gave me?"
Just because you never know who's listening.
Sometimes it's better, not to tell everyone exactly who you are. You never know who might be listening.
We're undercover here. See, we got to
Yeah.
find this person, and we don't want to go around willy-nilly telling our names.
All right. I mean, Uncle Gooden says you should speak the truth.
Oh, does he?
He does.
Is that what he says? He's got a book out or something.
Oh, it's just something I heard.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if there's many people who are fans of Uncle Gooden, if you could believe it, probably in Janderhoff. It's probably not wise to advertise ourselves as fans of Uncle Gooden, is it, Ed?
Ed doesn't say anything.
Okay.
No, don't think so.
The woman comes back over with her tablet and with one of the guards in tow. Out of interest, you didn't encounter any Shawanti on the road today, did you?
We did.
She raises an eyebrow at your varied answers and then looks to Karagor.
Yesterday, there were a bunch of slavers that got told they turned away from trading here with Shawanti in tow. So we liberated the slaves from back of the slavers' wagon and liberated the slavers from their ability to slave.
The dwarven guard kind of chuckles. You were in luck. Some Shawanti passed this way earlier today. Told us they'd been freed by a group of matching your description. Didn't believe it when they first said it, and then saw you approaching here. All right, you're free to enter. Just keep to the foreigner's ring, and go about your business as soon as possible.
Thanks very much.
Excuse me, do you have a temple of Yomade here at all?
No temples to human gods here. You should know that, boy. Only temple here is the Temple of Torag.
Hey, I thought that, but I was just checking.
Right, well, I consider myself checked. He nods with his head gestures for you to carry on, and they all back off and allow your horses and wagon to trundle on into Janderhoff itself. So inside Janderhoff, it is even more impressive than the outside. So you've been in an enclosed city for the past few months, really, or few weeks, in Kermarga, but this is something completely different. Kermarga always felt kind of chaotic and sort of homemade. Everything was chiseled out of the rock itself. People have made little holes in the side wherever they've been able to dig something out. Nothing here feels anything less than precise and deliberate. The ceilings are buttressed and they're painted in this vivid blue resembling the sky that the dwarves quested for centuries ago. The streets are well paved. Every surface is expertly carved and painted. Glowing orbs are hanging over posts, picking out the colours in the statues and carvings. The overriding sense in this whole place is a sense of colour and light and expert craftsmanship. People are coming and going about their business, but there are there are lanes for the traffic. Traffic is moving as if it would on a modern road, whereas in Kermarga everything just pushed past each other to get there. This is a place of order and precision. What would you like to do?
Drink it in, boys. Look at this. Expert craftsmanship there.
This is very impressive. Yes, very good.
Aye.
We should find somewhere to stay. Did he say the foreigners' quarter? Is that what he said?
I think so.
The foreigner's ring.
He said the foreigner's ring.
Ah, yes. Well, we should find a good inn and settle in.
Aye. We should probably not split up as well.
No. I think we should definitely find an inn together, and then we can stay there.
If Frey's come this way, Frey's a half-orc, she would have stood out. I was just thinking out loud. I wonder as well. Karagor's got his disguise kit on him. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's better to wait till they're in, but can he use that disguise kit to make his human side more pronounced and his half-orc side seem more diminished?
Yeah, you can go, and you can get in the back of the wagon and have a go at it there.
The danger wagon, I forgot.
You've got the danger wagon. So go ahead and make a disguise check to try and become a little bit more.
9.
It's not great.
I'm a Horrocks through and through, lads. It's not happening.
Yeah. What was the river? Was it she was going down a river, wasn't it? Or like a...
yeah. No, she was in the back of a wagon and going on through the mountains.
Oh, okay. How many...
I thought she was coming through Janderhoff. Was that not right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Dan, do you know... How many exits are there from this... Is this the only way in and out of the city?
Yes, the main gate is. This is the only way in and out from the valley. There are lots of underground passages in and out.
And when we saw, when you explained it, Where did we see Fray? She was in a wagon.
She was in a wagon. She was outside somewhere.
Okay.
She was,
But obviously you haven't seen that in character. But it's just our viewers at home.
Yes. We assume that she's either passed to Janderhoff. She might still be here.
Yeah. Okay.
But she might well have gone by now.
Q.
Right, should we go to the Foreigners' Ring? Can Velder just make some general inquiries as to an inn, like good names,
Sure.
like a knowledge local check, would that be?
Yeah, go ahead. A knowledge local check to try and...
That's not too bad. 16. 17.
A 16. So you managed to ascertain from asking around a few people that the Foreigners' Ring refers to this level of Janderhoff. So Janderhoff goes... Sky Citadels are a little bit above ground, but they go way, way down underground. They're underground cities, effectively. So a Sky Citadel are the points at which the dwarves first appeared on the surface. Centuries ago, dwarves were born underground, they lived underground, and then at one point in their history, thousands of years ago, a great prophecy arose that they were destined to reach something called the surface, and this thing called the quest for the sky happened, where the dwarves all surged upwards searching for this promised land. In the process, they encountered the orcs, who also had been begun underground, and they began to drive the orcs upwards with them, so they drove the orcs to the surface. That is part of why dwarves and orcs are mortal enemies. At the points where the dwarves first appeared on the surface, they built great cities which were called Sky Citadels, and they were their capitals of the Dwarven nation in its early days. Since then, most of them have fallen. In fact, Urgia, which is the capital of Bugden, which is the orc capital effectively, was once a dwarven sky citadel. Janderhoff is one of the few that is still in dwarven hands. The Foreigners' Ring refers to the first level, which is the one that is level with the ground. So it's almost city size. It's a big, big district. But there are many other rings below, which are for dwarves only, and for members of the clan only. So it is you get the sense you're not going to accidentally walk into one of these. It involves going through a heavily guarded gates to get to any of the bits of the city you're not meant to. And you ascertain that there are other ways out of the city. Janderhoff has some passages to Bloodsworn Vale, which is a way through the Mindspin Mountains, and you know that was mentioned in the letters you read. You also find a place to stay. It's an amazing roll, but you managed to find a tavern called Bangin' Hammers, which has got a few rooms available at quite a cheap rate. It's got a big open tap room at the bottom. But yes, there's a room that will sleep all of you that is available for a couple of gold pieces tonight. So you have a base.
Splendid. Velder pays.
Okay.
Right, we've got a room. Should we pop MZ out there?
Hey.
A good idea, yeah.
Can Karagor... sorry, go on, Drum.
No, it's okay.
Can Karagor... how seedy is this inn?
I mean, it's not the best inn in town. It looks a bit run down. The downstairs bit looks a bit run down.
While the guys are getting bedded in, Karagor would just like to discreetly start asking around to see if there'd be anybody who knows where unsavory characters go, or if they travel through, or if there's some kind of... He's basically putting feelers out to try and not contact, but see if there is some kind of criminal underground or underclass.
Right, okay. You start asking around. Go ahead and give me a, I guess, perception check to sort of see how good you are at gathering information on this.
Also a 9.
So a 9. Not great. Okay, so you make a few inquiries, but you draw more suspicion than you do anything else. The dwarves are not comfortable, by and large, talking about where you would go to find unsavoury elements of the city, especially from what they consider to be an orc.
Yeah.
When an orc starts asking, where do you do crimes? Not that literally, but yeah. But starts making these like they interpret it badly, and find short shrift from the dwarves.
All right. Well, I rejoin the fellas and go.
That's quite interesting. Sorry, so it's mainly dwarves in the tap room.
It's mostly dwarf. There are still some. There are a mix of other races around. Some quite a lot of human, some halfling. But yeah, it is still mostly dwarves that live up here. This is the only level that outsiders are allowed on. It doesn't mean it's all outsiders.
Yeah, no, I suppose because you want to do business with people coming in and you'd have your shops and stuff like that. Right, okay, cool.
So, in terms of pinpointing her location, or if she came through here, not easy to do.
Do you want? Well, the best person to ask around would be Fulton, probably. I mean, there's a lot of dwarves here. Or
hey, this is like one of my.
I don't think they'd like you very much, Karagor. I mean, nothing personal. Maybe not Shania as well.
Out of character, we had that little letter, didn't we? That sort of gave a route from that was roughly Freya's route. It named about 4 different places, one of which was Janderhoff, and it said a place that she was going after that. We could probably ascertain her route.
You know from the letter that you read, she was going to go from Janderhoff. She was going to pass through Bloodsworn Vale, where she was due to be picked up at somewhere called Skelt by a faith barge. She is eventually heading to Tamaran, which is in Nimathas. That is her destination. And you, like I say, you found out that Bloodsworn Vale can be accessed from Janderhoff. It is a pass that heads through the Mindspin Mountains. It is a way of cutting through them without having to go all the way around them to the south.
Cool, okay. So, we know her location after this, but we don't know if she has successfully passed through here, if she's been arrested or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to ascertain.
Well, would it be a good starting point finding this passage to the Bloodsworn Vale? Because if there's just one, then presumably they have guides like the Half-Light Pass?
I mean,
things like that?
I've been here before.
Oh, sorry, Ed.
I didn't stay in this place here, but I've been to Janderhoff before. It was a long time ago, but I think I may have a knowledge of where it is. Can I check that?
Yeah, so go ahead and make a knowledge local check. Ed Johnson. Very helpful. He was only going to go to the gates.
Well, I mean, he's sticking around for a night because he's not going to travel back.
He's lonely, isn't he?
He's having a drink with the boys and girls, obviously. But he's enjoying it, I think. And now they've had a fight together and stuff. And also, he's a bit intrigued, actually. I mean, if out of character, definitely. He's like all of this kind of names and things like that. He's not sure about these guys anymore, but he wants to stick around and see what's going on just for a little while, I guess. Anyway, that was a natural one, so...
so intrigued. So the bottomless well of Ed's knowledge has run dry.
It's been a while since I've been here, and I'm a bit confused.
Do you want another drink, Ed?
Yes, please.
All right, let's get another drink, yeah.
You get some... Yeah, Ed has no idea. Like, he gives you some directions. If you follow them up, it leads to it just leads to a dead end. You were pretty drunk last time you were here, Ed. You don't quite remember the exact route you took.
To ask around, would it be a knowledge local?
Knowledge local you can do to try and work it out yourself, or you can do a perception if you'd rather.
I'll have a knowledge local, see if I can ask about. Ooh, it's not very good. That is 11.
An 11, you don't really know.
No, not really. I've not really been to Sky Stiddle. Fascinating place, though.
Hey, I'm from one of them.
Are you?
Which one?
Yeah, Highhelm.
Oh, yes, you have mentioned, yes. Is it like this?
Yeah, it's massive. It's the capital.
Capital?
What? The capital.
Ah, yes.
Aye.
Is the capital L? Is that what you were saying?
No, it's the capital.
Okay.
Do you know, yesterday was better.
Excuse me, fellas.
The bar manager looks over at you and goes, "Excuse me, look, I bring you some drinks over the way, but I got it at. You're not planning on keeping that dead body in here. It's put.
Oh no, we're gonna put it in the room. Is that right?
Oh, I think we did.
Oh right, I thought he was just sitting there with sunglasses on.
It's a good-looking body, though, right?
I mean, he doesn't need another drink. He's not finished his first one yet.
I saw you bring it in here, and I'm not comfortable with that being in the room. I don't mind you renting the place. I know it's not the best place, but...
Please, he's one of my best friends. We're trying to find a priest that will get him back.
We'll take him to the temple then. Don't leave him in a bedroom.
I know, we are. We're just... do you know how to get to the Mindspin Mountain?
You're in them.
Mines.
They're in the Mindspin Mountain mines.
Yeah, the Mindspin Mountain mine.
He's not very well.
You look pretty unwell. You should find a cleric.
I should. You're right. Where do we need to go?
No man, Fulton. Let's just
the Blood Veil.
Yeah, Blood Veil.
Bloodsworn Vale.
Bloodsworn Vale.
Just it's all right. We'll do that.
after you probably need to go see a cleric is right.
Yes.
All right, let's go to one of the temples of Torak. Just incidentally, have you had any news from Highhelm at all?
Oh, we don't get... I don't really keep up with it. I don't know anyone there.
Oh, I just wondered. Wondered how the city's doing.
It's still there as far as I heard.
Incidentally, have you had any news from Karagor at all?
Oh, God. You seem to have been out of the loop. Where have all of you boys been?
Oh, you wouldn't believe.
We were in
travelling.
the mines
On the
for
road?
ages.
What, you were in the mines that you're looking for?
No, different mines.
Different mines. You're miners, or...?
Yeah, we're miners.
No, yes.
I'm not a miner. I want a fucking drink, okay?
We've just been travelling. Look, we'll pipe him down. If you could bring those drinks when you're free, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
All right, he goes back and
didn't
comes back
answer-
with some drinks.
Didn't answer my question.
Yeah, he did not.
Karagor looks a little bit put out.
Sometimes, if the Danger Club change the subject enough, the NPCs forget the actual question.
So I want to ask you fellas, before we get our drinks over here, why do we hide the Danger Club name?
I said, because you don't know who's listening.
Yeah, but Uncle Gooden was blast us, and as you know, they thought that we were the group that we were, and they were positive about us.
Hey,
So
but
why
we've-
did we hide that?
That's right, actually, they were after we freed them from slavers.
Didn't I say that it's good to tell the truth?
It is, but we've been lied to before, and it takes us a while
Okay.
to trust people.
Look, Ed, you say that speaking the truth is a good thing, yeah?
Yeah, most
Yeah?
of the time.
Well, then we perhaps have some truth for you. Are you ready for the truth?
Wait, hang on, Shania.
What?
Karagor catches the tone and just goes, just 1 second, please. By the way, you look really, really pretty today. I haven't told you in a while, actually. I should
long
be more
What were you
attentive.
going to say, Shania?
Hang on, wait, Ed.
Yeah.
Just before Shania says that, listen, partly the reason is that there... Oh, wait, no, he's not with us, is he, MZ?
No, he's
in the room.
upstairs.
Points upwards.
Yeah.
It's both, oh, that's quite a nice symbolic thing. He was quite good at talking and that and being diplomatic and chatting. And, I mean, at the moment he's dead. So we didn't want to have to rely on that. Sometimes it's best to hide your identity and who you are. Karagor gestures at his eye patch and stuff and his failed attempt at disguising
Gold wig.
to, do your best work. And, oh, look at that. Isn't that, look, a squirrel.
Oh, yes, look at a squirrel. How
God,
fascinating.
how distracting.
The squirrel looks over from the other table and says, "Hey, leave me out of this."
Is he smoking a cigar and playing cards?
I mean, I don't want to intrude. I'm only sticking around for a night or so.
That's
And then I'm
fine.
going to head back
there
with
we
my
are.
horses.
Then a night's fine, isn't it, Shania?
Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
I feel like he is a good man, and maybe he should know. And maybe he is the kind of person that can get the truth known.
Velder casts message while she's talking and says, no, 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 no.
Shania passes one back and says, "Fuck you."
Both of you whisper these things. So sitting around the same table.
This is while everyone's talking. Just
You're
sort of
just
coming
kind
up,
of
just like...
saying it into your hand.
Fuck you.
These drinks are taking a while.
Yes, Ed. Yes, they
drink.
sure are.
The drinks arrive.
Oh, here they are.
I mean, whilst we're having a drink and sat around here discussing things, Velder, what the fuck, mate?
What?
What was all that about? Why'd you bail on us taking over slavers and freeing them slaves?
Yeah.
I didn't bail on freeing the slaves.
You absolutely did. That is absolutely what you did do.
No, what I draw a line as is murder. I mean,
You murder
No,
things
fuck
all the
murder.
time.
We've murdered things.
no,
we've
we don't.
murdered so many things.
We have murdered many things.
We've fought many things and we've killed many things, but I've never murdered anyone in their bed. And I draw the line at that.
Again, just a piece of advice for you, son. I don't know you very well. I
No,
don't
you
know
don't,
any
Ed.
of you very well. My advice to you would be, Uncle Gooden, he wouldn't like that. He wouldn't like those slaves being kept in there. So
Would he like people being murdered in their bed?
Well,
People who'd offered shelter.
technically they weren't
Yeah,
in
he
their
would.
bed.
I mean, if
They woke up.
You killed the dwarf in his bed.
No, none of them were actually physically in their bed at the time.
Actually, just out of character.
One of the dwarves
was in his bed.
I can't believe we're splitting hairs to this degree, but yes, one of the dwarves
in
was
his
lying
bed.
in his bed.
And
when
you
that
killed the other one in cold blood.
I wonder where the slaves were taken from, if they were taken from their bed, or maybe they were taken kicking and screaming, but,
I was a fucking slave. I was a slave when I was a child, so I've got as much reason to hate slavery as anyone else.
That doesn't give
But
you...
I made my peace with it long time ago, Karagor One Fang, and I decided that my line is murder, and I won't commit that.
Oh, so because you were one slave, that gives you right
Who
to
the fuck
dictate
are you to judge?
how every other slave is freed. I've freed slaves, probably like you.
Good.
At what point would you voluntarily take the life of a slave again?
Take the life of a slave?
Would you wish to become a slave again?
Well, no.
Well, exactly then.
Yes, but my experiences are vastly different to many other people's.
Well, fine, your
I don't
experience is
agree with
different, but that's not the
and it was
universal right.
It was the right thing to free slaves, but I am not a murderer, and I couldn't square that with my conscience.
So once the fight was active, once it was up, once they were no longer going to be murdered, you still stood there, did nothing.
Well, the fight took about 12 seconds, because you murdered them in their beds.
You've done more than that in 12 seconds before. Your absence was noted, that was all.
Fuck you. And Velder stands up, and he goes up to the room.
Okay. The squirrel looks over and goes, well, that's pretty awkward. Nice.
Ah, Veldy.
Wait.
I'm sorry for his pain.
Velder was a slave.
Yeah, I did not know this.
Me neither.
And I am surprised that it was not more active last night. Since I have, my peoples have enslaved people and used slaves many times, and it was enough to sicken me, and is part of the reasons that I would not be part of this world, you know. And he had been a slave, and yet he would let them live. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think that Sylph's got a lot going on under his head. I'm not sure how much of it's good.
Okay. Well, anyway, so
Where? Excuse me, barkeep. What's your name, by the way?
God, these drinks, mate.
He's brought the drinks.
we've had the drinks. We're on the second drinks.
Okay.
That conversation doesn't happen without already having had a drink.
Yeah.
His name is my name is Haggy Stonespeck.
What?
Haggy Stonespeck of Clan Stonespeck.
All right, Stonespeck. My name is Battlestone.
Of the
What? Just of the Battlestone.
the Battlestones.
Hey.
The High Helm Battlestones.
Hey.
It's good to know you.
Yeah. My name's Gregor. Gregor Battlestone.
Strange dwarf name.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm not one to judge. People are called all sorts of crazy things nowadays.
Do you know where the Temple of Turag is in relation to here?
Yes, he gives you very accurate directions of how to get to the Temple of Torag from here.
All right. Thank you. Fulton goes upstairs.
Okay.
Gets M's body, and then starts.
Do you? Velder is in the room when you go. You got sort of one.
Okay,
but you can
Just awkwardly, just shuffling around with M's body.
Don't mind me.
Sorry, Velder. I just need to.
Are you going to the temple?
Aye.
All right, let's go.
All right. Velder and Fulton. Yeah.
Shania turns to Ed and says, Ed,
Yes.
I believe that there's some things that I need to tell you. I think that you are a good man, and you are living your life under false pretenses.
Karagor's giving an eyebrow dance to rival all the eyebrow dances.
And Shania looks back at him with an eyebrow dance that says, I don't give a fuck. And turns back to Ed and says, there's a truth that you must know about. This Uncle Gooden that you that you revere so well, we have found that he is not what he seems. No.
What do you mean?
He is a false person. He is a blood mage. He is trapping people, enslaving people, using people, and as soon as we can prove this, then I want you to know that he is not the person that you think he is. And I only tell you this, and this is extremely dangerous for me to say to you, but I tell you this because I think that it is important for you to know, and that I would not wish you to live your life falsely, for you are a good person, and I wish you to understand truth. Yeah?
Now listen here, Sherry.
Okay.
That's a lot of information you've just given me there. And I'm sorry, but there's been a lot of lies about Uncle Gooden, and I know that they're not true. He's done so much good for Karagor and everything around. Sherry, you gotta believe.
Okay. I have told you the truth that I know of. If you choose not to believe me, then this is up to you. But I would implore you with all your heart to look deeper than you think you are looking, because I worry that you would not like what you find.
Sherry, tell me how you know this.
Yeah,
how do you know
Sherry,
this?
Tell us how you know this.
Thank you.
Because I have made my own investigations and I have found out the truth, okay?
Well, there's a lot of fake stories out there.
What, you mean the fabricated papers?
Yes. Fabricated whispers going around, and I choose not to believe that.
Okay, well, this is down to you then.
Oh, well, looks like we've resolved that. That was said, and nothing else is revealed, so looks like we've both got our own opinions, and we can respect them each equally. That's great, isn't it? Now, where's this bloody Temple of Torag?
To Janderhoff.
Okay, so Fulton, you're gonna need Velder's help because it takes two of you to carry the body on the stretcher that you built for it. So
Velder goes and helps.
So the two of you come down.
As I'm coming down the stairs, I turn to Velder and I say, I was pretty heated. You have your reasons for doing what you did. Maybe we should communicate a little bit more between us. I didn't communicate enough to MZ how much he meant to me. And, if I could go back, I would tell him everything that he meant to me as a friend. And, I'm glad you opened up and said to us a little bit of your past and how you were a slave.
It doesn't matter, does it? Well, I just think that some people in this party see the world in black and white, and the world isn't like that. Shades of grey. And maybe my experience as a child coloured my view. It's far more complex than that. You can't just wade in there and butcher people for a black and white sort of answer. It's never that simple. And we didn't give those men a chance. We just butchered them, and the entire party made the decision in about half a second. And I'm not a murderer, and what they did was wrong, and slavery is wrong, and it should be stopped. But maybe there was another way to handle that situation rather than just butcher people. Is that how we are now? Anyway, it's done. Fuck it. Let's go to this temple.
Fulton looks...
Thanks for your words, by the way. And he nods at Fulton.
Fulton kind of looks like, because he spends so much of his time wading in and sort of killing things and just not really thinking. He sort of looks a little bit like he's thinking, not like persuaded, but thinking okay, there is and then we head downstairs.
Okay. You head downstairs and rejoin everybody carrying the stretcher. It draws some attention from the people in the tower.
We've literally just put him upstairs as well. He's back.
And you kind of take because he's still got all his pack and everything. So you kind of get most of the pack off and put it on the table to go take it back upstairs. As you're doing that, you notice there's a piece of paper sticking out of one of the pockets of his travelling pack.
I look at the piece of paper.
Okay, you take the piece of paper and you read out what it says.
Mother, it's been a long time since I wrote you last. For that, I apologize. My life in the past few months has taken a turn, but you needn't worry. It's a turn for the good, and I've been in many adventures since I last wrote. I would say that I'm a bad son, but I know what you'd say. You'd say, you're not a bad son, Em. You're just different. And smile in that way that never fails to make me return one to you. As you know, from my last letter, I've been traveling on my own from town to town for some time now, avoiding trouble as best I can, taking work wherever possible. I always did prefer being on my own after what happened. However, recently I met some folks, some people that are good, some of the truest beings I've ever met, and we have started to help others as a team. It took time to trust them. For a long time I couldn't. I still always hear Father's voice in my head, "Take your time, son, don't trust anyone." Sadly ironic that he included himself when he used these words. After some time traveling together, and some near-death experiences including my own, I now call this group my friends. I trust them with my life, and I'll die to save them. Their names are Shania Rain, a drow who bears so much pain, but uses this pain to relieve others of theirs. Karagor Onefang, a half-orc, or Horik, as he prefers to be called, who has never lost a fight to man nor beast, a true and just being with a talent for entertaining equal to fighting. Velder Cairnblight, a wizard who is knowledgeable and knows exactly when it's time to leave, and who is right. I don't mean right as in he knows everything, as he definitely does not, but he is right in his heart. And for me, that's where it counts. And lastly, Fulton Battlestone, a fighter dwarf who you'll be happy to know can drink like any Z, who fights as strong as Yomadai herself. Fulton is someone who I can say is a better companion than anyone could wish for. My true friend. I will be with him until one or both of us perish. As I said before, I would die for them all, and I'm sure they would die for me. And for this reason I have found some peace. A peace I have not known since before Father died. I still wish I could reconcile with him, but wishing is a fool's pastime, so I choose to spend my time doing good in the world with my new companions. I choose to be a part of the Danger Club. This is where I find peace. We are about to go on a mission to confront a villain who resides in Cairnmarga, one who has information and has wronged a new friend of ours. I'm confident we will be successful in this quest. I have no doubt that we will have to leave the city after our mission, but just know I'll be safe. And I promise, I'll write again soon. I love you, Mother. One day I will return. Until that day, know I am safe and with friends. Yours, M, son of Memzi. P.S. I finally purchased a Hungermonger. I always wanted one, and I know Father would be proud knowing that one day I will use one like he did all those years. P.P.S. I'm playing the ukulele again. I know this always made you so happy.
Very nice.
Fulton wipes away a tear after reading it. I read it out loud too. Everyone else is there, right?
Yeah.
Everyone else is there.
I read it out loud to everyone.
Cool. And we'll say you can do it in a way that lets you not give away the names to Ed Johnson.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Who you've given a second name now in front of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So sad. He wrote that letter for his mum before you went on the mission, and he couldn't post it because Karagor got the Minotaur to burn down the Cairnmarga post office.
We should deliver this. Well, we should send this to his mother.
Yeah, we absolutely must do this.
I mean, hopefully he can post it himself.
I'll keep holding it for now.
Let's see. To the place.
Okay.
To the Temple of Torag.
Yeah, that place.
With M's words in your ear, you hitch up the stretcher and you make your way through the town to the Temple of Torag. That was fantastic, by the way. Colin wrote that himself. That is great.
What a mate.
Well pleased with that.
I just wasn't really clear on whether or not M would die for us or not. I'm not sure if that was. That definitely something he believed. Right. Just felt the guilt getting in every time.
I thought it might be like the last will and testament, being like, if I die, then just take my chain shirt, my arrows, and leave me in the river. It's what I would have wanted.
Oh my god. Imagine if he had a really detailed will, and you're like,
Oh no, he's left all the arrows to Velder. What did he do?
I believe in the true death. I don't want to be resurrected. No, don't take me to a temple.
Yeah.
So the Temple of Torag is in the heart of the district. It is a great forge with a huge symbol of Torag hanging on a banner above it. It is suspended above an enormous pit from which there is light and there is a tremendous heat coming up from this pit. The forge is suspended from the ceiling by great chains. Carved into all four sides of the temple is a huge dwarven face with an open mouth, and from the mouths of the dwarves pours a constant stream of molten metal, which pours down into the pit far below, where there is just a lake of molten metal shimmering. There is a bridge stretching out across the pit to one of the statues, and where the face is there, it has a forked beard which curls around underneath its mouth and to the sides, which directs the flow of molten metal in a sort of fork pattern either side of the bridge, which allows you to pass underneath it and through the gates of the temple itself. There are priests all around there. There are a lot of dwarves here, a lot of people coming to worship. There is a great worship space here, and there are people, mostly dwarves. There are a few other people as well, and there are lots of priests wearing holy regalia with that symbol of the upside down anvil on, and many of them also wear smith's aprons. You can see all of them have smithing tools as well. Torag is a god of the forge, and so it is part of the regalia that they wear those things. You ask around. What are you asking for primarily?
If anyone knows of any priests that know anything about
resurrection
resurrection or reincarnation.
Okay, so you ask about bringing back the dead, and you are looked at in a sort of puzzled way and told to wait for a little while. Eventually, after about an hour of sitting around and waiting, there are some footsteps nearby, and a priest approaches you. He's a dwarf. He has a grey beard, which has been neatly tied into two strips. He wears the gown of a priestess with the apron over the top. You can see that his face is made up, so he has eyeshadow on. And has some lipstick as well, and his beard is neatly tied back. His hair is tied back as well. He has a huge hammer over one shoulder, and he approaches you. I am Senior Cleric Stern Vinward. Which of you is the worshipper of Torag?
I am.
You seek to bring back the dead?
Aye.
May I see?
Yeah.
He pulls the thing aside and has a look. Well, you better come into my office then, hadn't you? And that's where we leave it for tonight.
Ooh. Just gotta say, coolest mental image of a temple ever.
Yeah, man.
Really
Dwarves
cool.
don't mess about.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice. Well done, everyone.
Good job.
Some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, it's really good.
Potent.
Hi, I'm Jen.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Henno. We're three friends that talk about mental health, wellness, and our lives.
Through articles and tips, we share what has worked for us on our paths overcoming depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, alcoholism, and addiction.
Come join us on our journey. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just search for The Crazy Life. Remember, wiggle your toes and just keep breathing.